relationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on amazon.com. You know, if your woman doesn't submit to you, she ain't your woman. Now, I know this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but if your woman is not submissive to you, I don't give a damn what nationality she is. I don't care if you live together. I don't give a damn if you're black, you're white. I don't give a damn if y'all the same nationality. I don't give a damn where you live at in the world. If your woman is not submissive to you, she ain't your woman. She belongs to the streets. She belongs to her job. She belongs to the pastor at that church she attends on every Sunday. She belongs to her friends that influence her to do dumb shit. She belongs to somebody else, but she doesn't belong to you. And I know this is hard, a harsh truth. And it's something that I had to face about 15 years ago. And it's one of the biggest problems that I had, because I used to think that you had to pander and negotiate and talk women into shit, but all that's bullshit. It really is. And a lot of women will try to run game on guys because a lot of women want guys to protect them in some type of way. If that door fly open, or if some type of danger is coming towards her, she looks, first thing she does is look at the guy that's sitting next to her. So she wants protection, but at the same time, she doesn't want to take instructions from a man. She can't stand a guy telling her what to do. You know, so you can't have it both ways. You know what I mean? Shit, there's some countries like Saudi Arabia and Dubai where women have to submit by law because those guys are in power. They run shit over there. So, you know, but living here in America, women, they pretty much do submit as they will. They just do what they feel like it. And that's the problem of living in the United States of America. Because women, if a woman does submit to you here, you don't know how long it's going to last. It could be 5 years, 10 years. But it works out well for us fellas, because if she gets out of pocket or does something that's unforgettable, you can get you another bitch. So it's all good. And by that time, in most cases, by the time she stops submitting to you, she's already up in age anyway. She's probably old. She's probably overweight. She probably doesn't look as attractive as she used to be. So sometimes it works out pretty well for some guys that I know. And I've lost friends because of like a lot of women, because they let their wives get up in their ears and tell them shit. And see, here's the deal. A woman should never have the authority to tell a guy what to do. A woman should never wear the pants in the relationship. You know, once a woman once women lead guys around, that's the beginning and the end of society as it is. You know, because women aren't supposed to play that position. They out of line. You know, guys are born to lead. It's guys that's on the front lines. There's no women on no front lines, last I checked. But at the same time, women say, oh, I believe in equality and all that shit. Women can do just as better things as men. That's bullshit. Everyone has their position, and they supposed to play their position. But they want to go against nature And a lot of women, they just want to get treated better than white guys in American society. They just want to take over the whole goddamn thing. They want to dominate guys. That's what that's really all about. It's really all about power. It's not about rights at all. It's not about public policy at all. That's just a game that a lot of women try to play. But there's always an exception to the rule. Socially, if you're with a woman and if she doesn't submit to you, she ain't your woman. She belongs to the streets. And that's just how that shit is. She doesn't belong to you. Because if she belonged to you, you wouldn't have to beg for sex or negotiate for sex. You wouldn't have to talk her into doing anything. It just is what it is. I mean, right now, if I go to North Carolina and call up women that I've been knowing for years and say, "Hey, I'm in town, where you at? I want to see you." They'll make time for me. They won't say, "Hey, I'm tired," or "I don't know if I'll be able to make it." No, they'll make time. There's no such thing as "I don't got time." That's bullshit. It really is. It took me a long time to figure this out. And I learned a lot by hanging around a lot of athletes and entertainers when I was in my 20s. And I learned a valuable lesson. They didn't have to negotiate for sex. Can you imagine Michael Jackson, Prince, a lot of these entertainers, they never had to ask for sex. Michael Jackson never had to ask for sex. You think about this for a second. He never had to ask for the pussy. I mean, could you imagine somebody like Prince? He never had to ask for the pussy. Man. So it's who you are more than anything else. So who you are is much more powerful than the doing. That's what I learned over the past 20 years. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. And if you want to join my Players Club, you get my latest paperback book absolutely free by clicking the link below this video. So if you got questions, I got answers. Until next time, Sharp Gamers out. Peace. Yo! Back at you with another episode. Your boy is back. Your boy is back. I was out of town for a couple of days. And I caught a cold, man. I caught a cold in that Denver ass weather. The weather out in Denver is funny style, man. I'm telling you. So, hey. But I'm good, man. I'm good. It was a very interesting trip, I would say. But, I learned a lot. I had a different experience, So it's all good. What's up, Paul? I don't know who that other woman is. What's up, Miss? That looks like a troll. But it's all good though. Hey, you gotta have I salute the trolls too. But hey, share the video and all that good stuff. And this topic was brought to my attention by one of my longtime listeners. And he wanted to know what I thought about being a MGTOW. And somebody asked me this when I was doing a live, when I was stuck in the Denver airport last Sunday. And I kind of mentioned what I thought about being a MGTOW, and like I said, on the outside looking in, why do I have to be a part of somebody else's ideology or somebody else's philosophy or somebody else's group to put myself first? I don't have to do that. I can take care of myself, look after myself, live my best life, and I don't have to put a name on it. It can just be my life, my game, my show. I don't have to call it anything. That's all I was saying. That's the whole point I was trying to make. You can use your own mind. You don't have to take anybody else's way of thinking. You can think for yourself. And you know what I'm saying? You can put yourself first without having to be involved with people online or even offline, for that matter. That's the whole point I was making. See, online, you have a lot of people that are talking about women all the time, what women are doing, what women are not doing. And I've always said, I don't waste a lot of time talking about what women are saying or what women are doing, because they can't stop me from doing what I'm doing. And I ain't trying to stop them from doing what they're doing. But I would say this: if a woman is around me, she ain't going to be acting the way that I see a lot of women act online. Some of these videos I be seeing online where a lot of these women be talking crazy and acting crazy. No woman is going to act like that around me. If she gets out of line, she got to go. You know what I'm saying? Just period. So I don't really care about what's going on across the country and how women are so masculine. And the reason why women are doing all this stuff because the guys in this country are too weak and soft. Everything, just socially speaking, everything a woman has, everything a woman has been given in this country has been given by a man directly or indirectly. So how can we complain? It's the bad leadership in this country. So if you're a bad leader and you're in charge of a company or a corporation, or you're the president or whatever, well, the shit trickles downhill. Women are going to see you as a bad leader, and they're going to be like, oh, okay, the standards aren't high over here. I can get unruly and disrespectful, and nothing's going to happen to me. And that's what's happening in this country. You give women rights to do whatever that means, depending on what state and city you're in. And And it keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then after a while, a lot of women will feel like, well, I can just take over the whole goddamn thing. And you as a guy can't do nothing about it. That's what's going on. And then a lot of guys are so soft, they're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to stand up. A lot of guys are afraid of their women, believe it or not. A lot of guys are afraid of the boss at work. They're afraid of the women. They're afraid of the mama. They're afraid of, they're afraid of every goddamn thing. So, and you wonder why the relationships in this country it's downhill. It's a lot of guys have such a hard time because they didn't have the best role models growing up. I mean, it's sad but true. I grew up at a time where my dad and my grandfather they took charge. They took charge of the household. They represented. Whatever they did, they went all in, 110%. It wasn't no like 1 foot in and 1 foot out, or I'll just give it a shot and that type of shit. I didn't grow up around guys with that mentality. I grew up where guys were, firm. They had psychotic focus. Guys I didn't grow up around cowards. I didn't grow up around guys that were afraid to talk. They were afraid that, hey, if I talk too much, she won't give me nothing tonight. Now, I think the generation behind me, not behind me, I would say the generation like in that the early 60s, those guys, they kind of dropped the ball, which is like a generation just before me, around my brothers and sisters' age, like 60 to 65. Or I would go late 50s, 57 to 65. That range is when they really dropped the ball. A lot of guys. And they really failed a lot of young men growing up. I get it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes had, their fathers was there, but their fathers weren't good role models. They grew up seeing their father kissing ass 7 days a week. And the mom wearing the pants. This is what a lot of these guys grew up looking at. It's unfortunate, but so if you tell a guy, so if you start talking about leadership to a lot of these young men out here, they can't really relate. They don't really know what good leadership looks like in most cases, because they didn't grow up looking at that. Because the man that raised them, he didn't have no good leadership. He was weak and soft. he was just taught just to be a people pleaser and try to get along with everybody and try to be liked by everybody. That's what women do. That's a woman's job. That ain't a man's job. A man's job is if you want to look for something, look for respect. Get respect. That's what you should look for if you want to look for any type of validation from anybody. You know, respect is better. Nothing is better than respect. But see, the average dude out here, the young dudes don't understand that. They think if the man or the woman don't like him, he takes it serious. He takes it personal. I don't take it personal because it doesn't really matter in most cases, because I'm probably not going to be around you anyway. I'm probably going to never get to know you anyway. And if I do get to know you, it's going to be for a short period of time. So it doesn't really matter if you like me or not. The people that like me are the people that I really hit it off with. It usually happens instantly, you know. So, you know, I don't really meet a lot of people that gradually will meet and slowly but surely connect. No, don't usually happen that way for me, you know. But I'm not really looking for it. That's the thing, you know. Respect is better, you know, and then everything else usually take care of itself from there. See, everybody knows what respect looks like. They know what it feels like too. They saw it somewhere, somehow, someplace while they was growing up. Respect is better than love. See, once you start talking about love, see, things get confused, very confusing then for most people, because it doesn't look the same. It doesn't feel the same either. You know, some people don't even know how love feels. That's why I say it gets so confusing. So I say, hey, we'll get to the love later. Let's build on this respect thing, you know. And everything else usually take care of itself. And see, respect could last for a long time. That could last when you die. That could last for 200 years. Most other things like love and how much you care about me and that stuff could change next month or 6 months from now. You got to focus on longevity. You got to focus on what works. And the things that I talk about, it's been working since the beginning of the time. It's worked for my parents and my grandparents. It still works today, but the only difference is a lot of people want to reinvent the wheel. A lot of people like new shit. You know, they're like everything has to be new for a lot of people. You know, why? But the new shit ain't working for you. That's the problem. You know, I could see if the new shit was working, I'd be like, okay, have at it if it's working. But the new shit ain't working for you. So if it ain't working, stop doing it. That's insanity. Last I checked. You know? But hey, man, that's just how it is for a lot of people, man. You got to do what works for you. Don't do what works for you and your buddy or your or your girlfriend. Your girlfriend, 9 times out of 10, you don't know. She don't know what she's doing. She probably don't know what she want either. You know, she that you have to be the only consistent thing in her life, like a rock. You know, the average woman mentally is all over the place. You know what I'm saying? She don't know. Whatever feels good, hey, let's do it. You know, that shit don't work. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I'm gonna put the link in here, and I want to hear what you have to say. You know, I want to hear what you have to say. Click the link and come on in. Let's talk about it. You know, but a lot of us aren't used to putting ourselves first. Some of us, man, at an early age, we've been put in the positions where we had to look out for our mom, look out for our sisters. You know, they start calling us. They put us you've been put in the daddy role. You know, and then you in charge of the house when your mom go to work and shit. Maybe you from a single household. I grew up around guys that like they were. I think it was his dad was down the street basically. But his mom and dad weren't married, and his mom would leave and go to work, and the mom would say shit like, "Hey, take care of the house." And he's what? He's 14 years old, she telling her son to take care of the house and all this crazy shit, and she gotta depend on him to get a summer job to pay the bills and all that shit. So some of us grew up like that. We didn't really have time to develop as a kid, as a teenager, because our mom put the pressure on us. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because she couldn't afford to pay all the damn bills, and it shouldn't be that way. But that's how it is. And then you have some parents, they take it a step further. If the son happened to be a good athlete or something like that, maybe he's the son a good football, basketball player, or something like that, or baseball, she'll be riding the coattail of her son, hoping that he goes pro, NFL, or baseball, basketball, because she knows if her son goes pro, she won't be poor no more. You know, so a lot of parents kind of live through the kids. A lot of us grew up like that too. And that still happens to this day, where you might have a single parent or whatever, or you might have both parents together, but they've been struggling since the beginning, trying to take care of everybody, and they use the kids as kind of like a lottery, you know, kind of like a lottery ticket, because they'd be like, "Oh, I hope he goes pro, so we can get rich, and you won't have to work hard anymore." That type of shit, you know what I'm saying? That's putting a lot of pressure on kids. Kids shouldn't have to be thinking, "Hey, I gotta take care of my family." And he's only fucking 21, 22 years old. He shouldn't be thinking like that at such an early age. But that type of shit happens all the time, man. You know? And when the kids don't make it to pro, shit. Oh boy. It ain't but so many slots, you know. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a lot of these young guys, man. You know, I gotta do what I gotta do to take care of my family. And he's only 20, 21 years old or 19 years old. And a lot of these kids will leave college early. They'll enter the draft early because they're trying to get the bonus money. Because first, second round NFL player, you get like, I think first round you get like $3 million. Well, I think $5 million bonus if you're a first round pick, if I'm not mistaken. Second round, I think it's like 2-3 million. So just the bonus money is enough to get your parents off your back. You know what I'm saying? So this is what a lot of these young guys are. The parents trying to live through the kids, put so much pressure on the kids. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way at all. So a lot of us had to grow up always having to take care of somebody else, or look out for somebody else, or look out for the family, take care of the family. And a lot of times, you don't necessarily got to come from a single parent family either. That's another thing. Because like I said, a lot of these families were struggling. And a lot of kids they didn't have the time to develop. And it shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying? By the time they have the time to develop as an athlete, shit, they probably gonna be late 20s, early 30s. Because the parents are straight. They bought the parents a house, bought them a car or two, and now they can focus on themselves. But look how long it took them to get to that point. They've been playing football, basketball from high school, probably middle school or junior college or whatever, up until now they're late 20s, early 30s. Now they can finally put themselves first, but look how long it took them. Look how long it took them. It shouldn't be that way. That's a problem. So this is why I say you don't have to be MGTOW to put yourself first. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes some of us, we got to do what we got to do or whatever. Some of us probably feel like we had to sacrifice or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just keep in mind, if you're in college or you're aspired to take your athletic career to the next level, go pro, you're not obligated to take care of your family. You're not obligated to buy your parents a house and cars, and you're not obligated to do none of that shit. You can do it if you want to do it. But the problem is when a lot of our families, once your family know that you making the most money, a lot of them start acting like, oh, well, what's up? You got it. You got it, big bro. How the hell I'm big bro? You older than me. You 28, I'm 21. Or he might be, he's in the 30s, he calling you big bro. You little bro. But you big bro now just because you got more money than him. And shouldn't be that way. But a lot of us are put in situations like that at a young age. We have to grow up fast. You know what I'm saying? We have to grow up fast and take care of everybody and help the parents pay the bills and all that shit or whatever. Because your parents couldn't figure it out for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? They say the group will always be better than just one person, but shit, I don't know. Sometimes I think one person is better than the group, because you might have 2 or 3 dysfunctional people together, that's very unproductive, wasting time and doing whatever they do. Some might be drug addicts. Some might be drug addicts, alcoholics, and if you're a drug addict, you can't take care of no household, man. That shit ain't gonna work. That shit ain't gonna work. And a lot of these coaches, they target single households. That's their market. Those are the people they really want to talk to. They don't really want a man around. Because a lot of these coaches know they can manipulate the moms to their side, so he can get her son to come play football at his college. So a lot of these coaches, they know what they're doing. They know, and they know what to say. The get the moms motivated and try to sway the mom to encourage her son to come play football at the university where he coaches at. This type of shit, it's been going on. It's not new, but a lot of things happen behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of these guys get sucked in these situations. They end up taking offers that they didn't really want to take, taking on responsibilities that they shouldn't be doing in the first place, But hey, man, it is what it is. Sometimes we got to do what we got to do until we can do better, But shouldn't be that way. But it is what it is, man. But one thing I would say is if we want things to change in this country, or if you want things to change in your life, in your relationships, you're going to have to do it. We are going to have to do it as men. Women are not going to change in this country. Why? Because they don't have to. There's no incentive for a woman to change. You know why? Because there's too many simps out here. You got women out here now with 2, 3 kids, 2, 3, 4 kids, and guys are still laying up with them. Guys are still getting married to them. So why the hell would a woman change anything? Now, maybe you won't lay up with her. Or maybe you won't get married to her, that woman with 2, 3, 4 kids. But there's guys that are doing it. And that's the problem. That's why women won't change, because the standards are so low. Women are overweight. I'm talking, this is across the board now. This ain't no black or white thing. This is across the board. Women are overweight. Like when I went to Denver, I seen a bunch of overweight women. And they walking around with men. I ain't seen a lot of single women in Denver walking by themselves. They walking around with men, and she's 20, 30 pounds overweight, big ass stomach and everything. So why would a woman change anything? And if you're thinking about going to some place like Colombia, Brazil, the DR, any place South America, you got a good, see down there, they're moving slow, but they're catching up. So that's, you got a good, another 20 years, it'll be like it is down there, like it is here today. I'll give it another 15, 20. I said another 20 years. They're catching up. There's some women down there got that feminist mentality in a lot of these other places in South America. It's like, if you go down to South America and you bring a woman up here to North America, you gotta, let's say y'all get married. You bring her from Colombia up to where you live. Let's say you live on the East Coast. Let's say you live in North Carolina, where I live, right? She from Colombia. Let's say she from Medellin, Colombia. You bring her up here, y'all get married, y'all have kids. You're going to have a good 15, 20-year run with her. And that's when you're going to start having some problems. Because she's going to start picking up that feminist combative mentality. Because you can't play in the mud without getting some mud on you. That shit out here, that mentality out here, toxic mentality out here, is very hypnotic. And it affects everybody, even me, at times. But the difference between me and most people, I'm aware of it. I'm conscious of it. I do things to try to steer my mind away from the garbage. And, so that's take a woman that ain't really aware of it. She just kind of go along with everything. She listen to everybody. She look at TV, all the doom and gloom, and all that jazz. She look at, I don't know, the reality shows on TV. She look at cable TV, Netflix. She look at all the shit that the average woman look at. In 15 years, man, she might be corrupt. But by that time, you're going to be old. You probably be in the 50s, 60s anyway. If you're in the 40s now, you probably be about 70. So that's a good run. That's a good run. I wouldn't be mad. That's a 20-year good run. You got 2 kids. Your business is straight. Now, I'm not saying that y'all gonna get a divorce. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is shit ain't gonna be the way it was in the beginning. She might have a different attitude. You might have to talk a little bit more, or you might have to boss up on her, a little something. Or you might have to tell her how it is every once in a while. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying you're going to be yelling and screaming. No, not like that. You might have to tell her, hey, it's my way or the highway. I'll send your ass back to Colombia. You might have to tell her that every blue moon. You might have to mack her down. You know what I'm saying? You might have to lay the D down, hard every once in a while. That's what I'm talking about. You might have to put that thunder on her like you used to. No. That's what I'm talking about. You might have to make her remember who you is. She might get things twisted and forget every once in a while. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's all. So, but that's it. More likely you still be good as long as you keep being a leader that you are. You be good. You raise your kids. Teach your kids what you do. That way they'll have a step ahead of most of the other kids. They won't go through all the bullshit you went through growing up. You know what I'm saying? Your kids will have a leg up. They won't have to they can do what they want to do versus doing what they have to do, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? If you want to work a job, you can work that job, but you don't have to work that job. That's what I'm talking about. There's a difference. That's a big mind shift right there. They'll have the option to do what they want to do instead of thinking about how the bill gonna get paid and all that shit. It's a big difference, boy. I know it. Big difference right there, boy. You wake up in the morning time for work, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? You can't even afford to take a day off. Oh, I've been there. I know how that shit feels. Whew. Thank God I don't have to do that shit no more. Man, those were the days, boy. But I sacrificed. I made some sacrifices like 10, 15 years ago. The not to go through that shit no more. I probably made 2-3 sacrifices in the last 10 years, I would say. But there's no free lunch out here, man. Nah. You gotta outthink these fools out here. And I realized a long time ago, nobody's coming to save me. Yeah, you might have some people look out for you, give you some good advice, but to what extent? And a lot of times they're not giving you no free advice. Sometimes you got to pay. You got to pay to get around certain people. I learned that shit like 10 years ago too. And sometimes I didn't have no other option. So I had to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi in the house. Yeah, if you're back against the wall, man, sometimes, man, it's only one option. The only option you know at the moment, right in front of you. I've been there, man, like probably 2 or 3 times in my life. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't necessarily my fault. Shit, I just didn't know. I never been taught. Nobody ever told me. How was I supposed to know something if nobody ever taught me? And then when you listen to some of these people that don't have your best interests, they'll just tell you what they want you to know so they can take advantage of you. I'm like professional people. They'll tell you what you need, tell you what they want you to know so they can take advantage of you. And you don't know no better until later on, tell the shit The transaction then went through, months go by. Maybe you done got the brand new car. 6 months go by, or maybe 3 months go by, maybe 2. And you find out you got a damn bad deal. You got a damn, the car you bought was in a flood during the damn New Orleans, the hurricane, the flood in New Orleans years ago. You found out the damn car was in a flood. That type of shit. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. Or you find out the car was stolen and somebody refurbished it and made it brand new. You bought a stolen car. But you didn't know that until, 6 months later. Oh, they might have lied to you and said, hey, the car was damn near brand new. And you found out the car was wrecked. You bought a wrecked car. And the only reason you found out that was wrecked because you got in an accident and you took it to a body shop and the dude at the body shop said, hey, man, this car was repaired before. And you was like, why you say that? Because the back bumper ain't the same color as the rest of the frame on the car. And you like, damn, I didn't even realize that. He said, yeah, it ain't the same color. So it was repaired before. So you bought a wrecked car and didn't even know it. But they told you this shit was damn near brand new with a little bit of miles on it. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. When people lie to you, blatantly lie to you so you can buy into whatever they have. But I mean, if you ain't no mechanic, or especially if you don't do body work, how the hell would you know? I mean, there's some people, I know some people can look at a car and can tell if it was repaired or not. I know a guy can stand up and look at a brand new car and he'll look at it and say, that was repaired right there. That's not the original hood of that car. I know a guy that can do that shit because he's been doing body work for so long, he can tell. But if you don't do body work, you don't know that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, man. Until you've been taught, until you've been around people that's doing it, that's had the experience before. It's hard to buy stuff today without getting scammed. This is why it pays to learn from other people that's been there and done that. So you won't fall into traps because the traps have been set for you. The traps is out here, guaranteed. Guaranteed the traps is out here. And the traps have been set for almost anything you could ever imagine. Your relationships could be a house, a car, or I don't care what you into. You can't even buy no cooch without getting caught up out here. No. If you run into the wrong woman trying to get some cooch, you thinking she's a prostitute, she end up being the police. You got to be careful doing that out here, man. You got to be careful out here. This is why I always say, hey, man, don't be paying for no cooch out here, man. You fuck around, you might get locked up. And your ass is going to be embarrassed if you end up in jail for some shit like that. You're going to call your buddy or call your wife, whoever, come get you out of jail. You're going to be embarrassed. You're like, yo, man, I'm in jail. Could you come get me out, man? You be like, what happened, bro? What you going to tell him? You going to tell him you got a DUI? What you going to say? You make up some other shit, I guess. You know? That shit is embarrassing. That shit would be embarrassing. To me, it would be embarrassing. But you got to be careful out here, man. I'm telling you. You know? It's like, there's certain things I don't know. And I need help. And I'm not ashamed. You know, like I give you an example. When it comes to taxes, I do not know all the laws and tax policies. I do not know how to do it. I don't know a whole lot about that shit. I know you can write things off. Yeah, I know all that. I don't know how to do it. That's what I'm talking about. It is, to me, it's complicated. You know? To me, it's complicated. You know? Just like when it comes to real estate. There's a lot to learn. I'm willing to learn from people that's been there and done that. You know, but I want to go big. I want to go big. I am going to go big. That's my plan. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know anybody that I know personally that's are willing to teach me how they did it. So what I'm supposed to do? Wait around? I'll keep begging them? Hell no. I got my ass on a plane and I went to a conference like I always done. If I wanted to learn how to do something, you gotta meet people. I meet people in person. Yeah, I talk to them online. Yeah, I done that. I listen to the podcast. Yeah, I know. But that shit is not gonna replace meeting somebody in the flesh. The internet is just a tool. You know what I'm saying? And I realized years ago, no one was coming to save me. You know, yeah, you can read books. Yeah, I know. You can read books. But books only tell you but so much. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things. There's a lot of scams. The books don't talk about scams. That's the thing. Most books don't talk about scams. The books only talk about stuff that's relevant to you getting things done. That's just generally speaking. But the scams, the shortcuts, no. Most books don't talk about stuff like that. You know. And you know why they don't talk about it? Most people, they don't talk about it in the books because they knew if they told you all the ups and downs and setbacks that they've been through, if they would have told you that they lost $50 million along the way, but they probably made $200 million, but they worth $200 million today, but they lost $50 million at one point. If they would have told you that in that book, you probably wouldn't have bought into whatever they had going on. That's why people don't really tell you the whole truth up front like that. This is why they don't. Most people, I don't know anybody that wrote any book, including myself, that told everything. I don't know anybody that did that. They'll leave out certain things for, like, private conversations, or maybe over the phone or conference or whatever. But they don't tell you every goddamn thing in no book. No. And a lot of times, everything is not for everybody. Some people are not ready to hear certain things. That's just how that is. That's real talk. That's just what it is, man. Nobody's coming to save you, man. You're gonna have to save yourself. You and yours. And you don't have to be MGTOW to do that. You can meet other people along the way. Because another thing I realized, your relationships is everything. As a matter of fact, the quality of your life is going to be dictated upon the relationships you make along the way. Because you can't do everything. It's physically impossible. You can't. You just can't do everything. You know what I'm saying? And the group is always going to be better than just one person. The group is always going to be better than just one person. It doesn't matter how good you are, how great you think you are, or how much skills you have in a particular type of area. The group was always going to be better than just one person. And there's a lot of people out here that say silly shit like, well, man, I ain't into no woman like that. I don't have nothing to do with a woman. I just want to make money. Now that's probably the most ignorant shit you can ever say. Yeah, I hear women say the same shit too. Well, I don't need no man. I just want to work my job, pay my bills, and take vacations with my girls. That's the most ignorant shit you can say too. That's ignorant. That mindset of those two people, they're broken. They're broken people that say stuff like that. I ain't in it all. I don't want nothing to do with a woman. And there's a lot of people online, especially. They just can't stand being around men. Women can't stand being around. They can't stand being around men, and men can't stand being around women. There's a lot of people like that online. And I can kind of listen to who is who. There's no healthy, thinking, mentally stable person makes comments like that. Because in reality, that shit don't work. That shit ain't healthy. You have to be broken. You got to a point where you don't want to have no interaction with no woman. Period. Or damn, where you work at? You got to deal with a woman somewhere, even if you go to the grocery store. That's when you know a motherfucker's broken, boy. It's over for him. I know a guy that got divorced 35 years ago. And he ain't never recovered from that shit. He ain't never got not even close to being married the second time. He ain't never got close to another woman since he got divorced 35 years ago in New York City when he got a divorce. And he moved down here in North Carolina 35 years ago. And he's still talking about how he got divorced 35 years ago. That's when you know a motherfucker's broken. Man, that shit is incredible. You know, see, the broken people, there's no hope for them. You know, and you ever notice, I don't know if you ever noticed, the broken people always got something to say all the time. You know, and if you ever pay attention to a lot of these reporters, they always put the mic in front of the broken people and let them do the talking. Because they know they're going to say something ignorant. And the smartest and the most wisest people, they don't say very much. They just listen. And if you ask them something, they'll give their opinion and respond. But the most ignorant, broken people, they always speak up first. It's always like that. And they always got something to say. They always complaining the most, but do the least. It's pretty common. This just across the board, too. It ain't no black, white thing or country thing. No, this just across the board. I don't care what language he or she speaks. It's always the bottom of the barrel people that do most of the talking first. And they always claim they're always the representation for everybody else. And at least they try to be anyway. And like I said, the media manipulates these people. The media, they play on it every time, especially in this day and time, you know. And the smartest and most wisest people, we just sit back and listen, and then we come in and say our opinion in a little piece, you know. That's usually how it goes. But at the end of the day, man, if we want things to change in society, men are going to have to make the changes. And if you want your life and your relationships and your financial situation to change, you're going to have to take charge. You're going to have to take the lead. Nobody else is going to do it but you. Your wife is not going to do it. Your girlfriend is not going to do it. Your mammy is not going to do it. Your daddy's not going to do it. Your uncle with money is not going to do it. The government is not going to do it. The president, the Joe Biden is not going to do it. Nobody's going to do it. Jesus Christ is not coming down to save you. Oh, Father God is not coming to save you. No. If Father God was coming to save you, he would have came already. If the Jesus ain't returning to do nothing for you, he would have came already, wherever he at. And I can't see him. But hey, if he would have came already, if he was coming to save you. You know? No. All that praying, you can hang that up. You can pray once you put in the work. Yeah. You gotta put in the work, then you pray. put in the work first, then you pray. Yeah, that's how that works. All that praying and then being imaginary, the vision comes in. No, no, it don't work like that. You gotta put it's action, then you pray. Yeah, that's how it is, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's been real, man. Like, share this episode. I only plan on being online for like an hour. You know, plus I know it's a Friday. I didn't expect many people to be on this so late anyway. You know what I'm saying? But hey, don't forget to check out the Love Can't Wait podcast, man. I gotta let's put a new episode up there today, man. Love Can't Wait podcast. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. Yes, sir. It's official, man. I got I don't know how many. I got hundreds of videos over there, videos and audios on Patreon now. Hundreds. I didn't even realize it. I was just pumping them out, man. Hundreds of audio and video over there now. You know, I'm probably going to drop another video over there tomorrow. You know, so check out the Patreon, man, and check out the podcast. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.